guys, welcome back to another Shop My Stash video. It's a little messy right now. If you guys caught my first Shop My Stash, you know I have a makeup bag that I take with me into the bathroom every day, and then I also have my everyday makeup drawer, like drawers filled with stuff as well. This is what I mostly wear day to day. Sometimes I'll swap it out with items that are in my drawers, but this is just to help me like get ready efficiently in the morning. So let's quickly go through everything that I had from last month, and then we'll jump into the products that I will be selecting for this month. So let's start with the foundations that I had from last month. I had these three, as well as anything going in my project pan, but I had the Stila Sheer Color Tinted Moisturizer, which I did get some use out of, and I think I'm going to set this aside for a month. I'll probably bring this back out maybe in May or in June, but for right now, I'm going to put this back. Then I also had the Physicians Formula Healthy Skin Foundation, and I actually ended up really liking this. At first, I didn't think I liked it, but I do really enjoy it. And I did get a ton of use out of this, so I think I'm going to put this back as well for the time being. Then I also had my Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup. I got some use out of this, not a ton. I think I'm going to keep this in for one more rotation just because I want to get a little bit more use out of this. I do really enjoy this foundation. I had 4 primers in here. I may have added as we went, and that's my bad if I did. First I had the MAC Strobe Cream, which I did not get enough use out of. This is the second month in a row. I need to make this happen and use this. I'm going to keep this in for another rotation. I also am going to keep in my NYX Honey Do Me Up because I only ended up using it one time. I think I'm going to put back my Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer for a little bit. I just don't need this right now. But then I'll keep in my Milk Blur Stick for the time being. Shoot, these two are also going in my project pan. I'm just going to set those aside. For mascara, my Lash Princess by Essie. This will be going away when we reach April because it will have hit expiration. I also have the Milk Kush Mascara, the IT Cosmetics Super Hair Mascara, and the Lancome Monster Big, which will also be going away. I've been using all 4 of these. I usually like to cocktail my mascaras, so I will end up picking 1 or 2 more since 2 of them will be ending in April, but these 2 are still good for another couple of months. For brows, I always use the same thing. It's the ABH Brow Powder Duo. I have mine in the shade Ebony. I love this. This is just always going to be in here. I always use this for my brows. I'm also going to keep in my Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. I've been enjoying this lately, and I'm almost done, so I just want to finish this off. I can't remember if I added in this Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Concealer, but I think I'm going to put this away for a little bit and go after some of the concealers in my project pan and maybe just bring one other one in. I also was using this for brows, and I'm going to keep this in just to keep getting use out of this. This is the Benefit Gimme Brow. I don't know if there's, yep, I have mine in the shade 3, which works really well for me. Definitely going to keep this another round. Meaning I'm going to put back my The Brow Gal Instant Brow Hair Tinted Brow Gel with microfibers. I really like this, but I don't need 2 like microfiber brow gels going at once, so we'll put this back for a little bit. Another primer I had going was my Hourglass number 28 Serum Primer. I want to finish this so bad. I really do. I'm going to keep this in. And I'm going to put this in here. We'll do this one and this one to balance out. Okay, I also had my Tarte Partey blush, which I got some use out of, and I really want to focus on my Essence blush that's going in my project pan, so I'm going to put this away for a little bit. I also had my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder in here, which I'm going to keep for another rotation. I didn't get as much use out of this as I would have liked to. And I'm also going to keep in my Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. I really have been enjoying this, so definitely keeping this in. I have this little mini Cover FX Perfect Powder. I didn't get enough use out of this to really form an opinion, so I'm going to keep this in another round. And then I have this Inglot Gel Liner, which is this beautiful champagne color, but I did just recently pick up a nude pencil from Essence that I want to roll in, so I'm going to roll this one out for a bit. And then finally, I have my little palette that has the 4 shadows, 4 single shadows that I'm trying to pan, and then it also has, it has these blushes from Makeup Forever that I never ever use, so I'm determined to get some use out of these this month. I should bring no other blush in. Okay, so the other bronzers I had going were my Hoola Benefit bronzer. I usually use this for contour. I think I'm going to roll this out for a little bit just because I have the Kevyn Aucoin, the Tarte, and then I also have a bronzer going in my project pan. I'm also going to roll out my number 7. This is Golden Sand bronzer. Again, I feel good with the amount of bronzers in this rotation, so I'm going to set this aside for a while. Alright, and then here, let's jump into, I had so much blush in this last rotation. I did actually get some use out of this Wander Beauty Dusk Till Dawn palette. It's pretty nice. I actually like it, but I do feel like I'm going to roll it out for a little bit because I did get enough use out of it. And then, just due to the fact that I'm going to try and use other blushes, I'm going to put this MAC Melba blush away for a little bit. I do really like this. I got some use out of it. Not as much as I would have liked, but I need to have less blush going in this. I also had my Mira Mira Butter Blush by Physicians Formula, and I actually really do enjoy this. I'm going to roll this out too, just because I want to focus on other blush. I'm going to keep this blush duo in. This is the Jouer Adore Me blush. I only use this one time and I want to get some use out of this. I'm going to put this in with my day-to-day to try and get use out of it. And then let's see. So we have this little powder. This is from Ciate London. I have my Cover FX one. I'll keep this in and hopefully get some use out of it. Shoot, I forgot I have my Hourglass Mood Exposure blush too, which I'm going to put away. I had been trying to pan this in a project. Wasn't successful, but I've gotten so much use out of this blush that it's time to put this away for a little bit. Let's see, I had ColourPop Flexitarian, which I only used one time. So I'm going to keep this in for this rotation. This Natasha Denona Glow I got a ton of use out of, so I am going to end up rolling this out. I also got a ton of use out of this Makeup Forever, finally. I've been meaning to use this forever. This Makeup Forever shade number 1, I think, Profusion highlight. It is a beautiful, beautiful pinky highlight. I love it. And I finally got some good use out of it. So we'll roll this out for a bit. And then I also got some good use out of this Hourglass highlight, which is a little bit more subtle. Do I have a subtle highlight? I'm gonna keep this in for a bit. Alright, so then we had brow pencils and pencils. I'm gonna roll out this Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes in the shade 23L. It's a nice nude, but like it just doesn't show up in my waterline. I should declutter this, but I'm not going to yet. I think I'm going to put away my Milk Makeup PTO liner for a bit. I did get some good use out of this, as well as these pink and purple eyeliners from Marc Jacobs and Urban Decay. I think I'm going to be steering away from like pink purple looks for a month and a half or so. And then I have this, which I didn't use. This is from So Susan. It's kind of like an eyebrow highlight, but it's like in pencil form. I'll keep this another rotation. I also had the Brow Precise Micro Pencil from Maybelline. I only used this one time, so I'm going to keep this in. I also did not get a chance to use this Wander Beauty Dove Gray Liquid Shadow anymore. I love this, so I'm going to keep this in for another rotation. My Essence Make Me Brow. Even though I have the other brow powder gel, micro gel, I'm going to keep this in. I'm going to put this with this. This is almost done. I just need to finish this off. And then finally I have this little Bite Beauty like multi-use stick, which I did not get a chance to use. This is in the shade Pink Pearl. I do want to try and use this, so I'm going to keep this in. Okay, then over on this side, I hope you can see the whole drawer. I have all my lip stuff. These are mostly just like tools. I have my Milani eye primer, which I'm always going to keep in. I also have my NYX glitter primer going to keep in. I have the Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy eyeshadow. I actually got some great use out of this right when I pulled this in, and then I put it away for a little bit. This is a really nice shadow, but again, I got some good use out of it, so I'm going to put this away for a little bit. I still have my melt stack that I need to use. This is the purple one. I need to use this. I'm going to use it and then roll it out next month. For the palettes that I had, oh yes, I got some great use out of the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator palette. I was mixing Peach Glow with Gilded Honey a lot, and so I'm very happy with the use that I got out of this, especially because I always talk about I never reach for this palette, but I do love it. So I'm really happy to have gotten some good use, and I'm going to roll this out for a little bit. I I also was finally able to test the Ace Beauté Grandiose palette. I really have been getting along well with this palette. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I do think you're a little bit limited with the looks you can create. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I just am with my, you know, not very artistically creative mind. But it's a beautiful palette. The shimmers are absolutely stunning and the mattes blend so well. I would definitely recommend this palette. But I did get some good use out of it, so I'm going to roll this one out. The Nubian by Juvia's I did not really get any use out of, so I'm going to keep this in for another rotation. I'm also going to keep in this little mini Z palette that I have. It has my Too Faced Primed and Poreless Powder, which I love, and then it also has this shade Peach Smoothie as well as the shade Pink Champagne from ABH, which I just really want to use this shade. It's so stunning, but I just never think to reach for it. So hoping to get some more use out of this month. And then my ABH Sultry palette I did get some use out of, but I would love to keep this in for another rotation just to really play with it some more. So I think I'm going to keep it in for one more. Alright guys, and now it's time to shop the stash. Alright you guys, sorry if my voice sounds different. It's the next day that I'm filming this and I just woke up, so I probably have really bad morning voice, but we are going to shop my stash now. This is the side of, this is like my makeup drawer that you always see on the side. On top I have my entire foundation collection, and then in this little mail holder over here I have all of the palettes that I currently have going in my 19 Shadows in 2019 project pan. If you guys are interested in seeing that, I will link that, but those just always sit there to remind me to use those palettes. As far as foundation, I do currently have the Too Faced Born This Way foundation going in my project pan, as well as the Dior Skin Forever, and then I left, which one did I leave? Okay, so then I also left the Essence one, so I think I have, that Essence one is pretty glowy, but I have been loving this YSL Touche Éclat foundation. I still have a lot to go, but I am interested in trying out one of the new YSL foundations once I finish this. I want to finish this one first, so I think I'm going to work on this one for a little bit, and then I also am going to pull, oh, such a tough choice. I think I'm going to pull my Laura Geller Filter First foundation because it's been a little bit since I've used this. So I will pull those two foundations and we will call it a day, even though I don't have, you know what? Call me crazy for pulling in 5. I'm also going to pull in the L'Oreal Lumi Cushion just so I can have a lighter coverage foundation as well. Okay, here's my primer collection in this little side over here. I pulled this from the other room where it normally sits. I do have quite a few primers right now, if you consider I have my 2 that I really want to focus on for my project pan. So I think I'm going to pull this little Hourglass guy and see if I can just get through this. The Veil Mineral Primer is one of my absolute favorites. This year, my goal, I've decided this year is just to completely curate my primer collection. I could definitely get away with buying no primers this year and be completely good. Although for the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, the Smashbox Primerizer, the hydrating one, is going to be like half off. So I'm definitely buying that because that's one of my top favorite primers. I'm going to try and get through the Veil Primer and hopefully buy this in a full size at some point this year because this is another one of my top favorites, but I think I'll pull this primer and be good with the rest of the primers that I have. Okay, so moving on to this first drawer, we have my concealers in here, and for concealer I do have 2 currently in my project pan, so I think I'll only pick one more concealer to focus on. And I actually think I'm going to pull the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Concealer. I did buy this in January. I finally got around to testing it. I was going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to do a first impressions video on my channel, and then I just decided to finally try it. If you guys are interested in first impression style videos, let me know. I've been trying to decide if I want to do those style videos here. But I just haven't gotten around to doing that. If you guys are interested, let me know and I can do that, and if not, then I'll just continue to not do them on my channel. But I think I'm going to pull this one in so I can get some more use out of it. And then my powders are also in this drawer. This one I think may have been part of the last rotation but snuck its way back into my powder drawer. This is the NYX HD finishing powder, and I actually repressed a product, you guys. So this is repressed, but I do still want to try and get through this and finish this off. So I'm going to pull this in, and then I have that mini perfect powder, but I do want... It's been a while since I've used the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, Veil Powder. So I'm also going to pull this in, and we'll call it good for powder. I'm trying to decide. Oh, part of me also wants to pull this Hourglass. A part of me also wants to pull in the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. I love this. However, I know I'm going to bring this with to Vegas and get a ton of use out of this in the springtime. So I think maybe I'll hold off for one more rotation and just leave this right there getting prepped for next rotation. All right, then the second drawer. Sorry guys, if I zoom out, you're gonna see like the mess around, but then you can see more of the drawer. So, okay, so this second drawer is my bronzer drawer. And I already have two bronzers going. I have the Tarte Park Avenue Princess, and I have the Becca bronzer going in my project pan. So I think I'm just gonna pull one more bronzer. I'm gonna pull the Essence Sun Matte Bronzing Powder. I'm trying to decide if I want to bring this one with traveling. I can't speak yet this morning. I want to decide whether or not I want to bring this traveling with me, and want to decide if this is my perfect summer bronzer. So I think I'm going to pull this one for now. And then drawer number 3 is my lovely blush drawer. Okay, so for blush this month, I'm really feeling like the corals or like the nude neutral blushes. So I already know I want to pull MAC Warm Soul. I am so excited if I could open it. Okay, I'm super, super excited to get some use out of this beautiful blush. And then I also want to pull in, I think, is it Wild Honey? Ooh, Flower Child. I think Flower Child I'm going to save for next month. Songbird is a beautiful one. We're going to pull in Songbird as well. Such a pretty blush. I'm going to pull both of those in. And then I also think, I know the Laura Geller blush and brightens are on sale during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. This one is in the shade Pink Buttercream, which mine unfortunately fell and shattered, and it's super hard to repress a baked powder. So I want to use this and decide if I like this. I liked it before it shattered, and if I do, then perhaps I'll pick up another one during the sale. So this is again in the shade Pink Buttercream. I'll pull this in, and then I also have my Essence blush going in my project pan, so we'll call it good for blush. Okay, the next two drawers down are highlights, and I know I want to pull in one of my glow kits this month. I actually think I want to pull in my Nicole Guerrero glow kit. It's been a while since I've used this, and I'm always like questioning why I keep this around, and then I go back and I use it and I fall back in love with it. So I'm going to pull in this highlighting palette. Okay, and then here's my highlighter drawer. It still does have some highlighting palettes in it. I think for this month, I think I'm gonna pull in my Dior Skin Nude Air. This is a beautiful eye highlight. I love this highlight. It's very bougie and I love it, and I haven't used it in a while. So we're gonna pull in this. Actually, I'm gonna pull in Champagne Pop. I haven't used this in forever. So we're gonna give this another go. Sweet. And we'll call it good for highlights. Next up, we have my single shadow drawer / pigments. I'm not feeling too inspired really to pull a whole heck of a lot of anything. Although I purchased this from JCat Beauty because it was a bestseller when I was gonna do a video on it, and then never did, go figure. And I've never gotten around to trying this. There it is right there. So I think I'm gonna pull this and give this a try. And then just for fun, we'll pull this Inglot pigment, and I'll mix this in with one of my, oh my gosh, that's pretty. I'll make a look with this. Okay, so in this drawer we have all of my eyeliners as well as my huge mascara bin, and then we have stuff for brows. So as far as eyeliners are concerned, I'm not going to pull specific eyeliners anymore. I'm just going to go into my eyeliner drawer and match colors to looks. That's just going to work best for me. And then I'll set any eyeliner that I end up using, I will set aside in my desk drawer so that I can share those with you for that month. I think that'll work best for eyeliners. As far as brow products are concerned, like I said, I always just go back to my ABH brow powder, but I think I'm going to challenge myself this month and I'm going to pull in the Benefit Brow, which is obviously like a pomade. Let me make sure this isn't dried out. Not dried out. So we're going to pull this and try and get some use out of this month. And then for mascaras, I'm going to pull in 2 new ones, since at the end of March I'll be rolling out the Essence one, and I'll be out of Essence. I'll be out of Essence mascara, which is super sad. My goal is to not purchase any mascara this year because obviously I have plenty. So I think I'm going to pull a Ciate Wonderland mascara. This is just the deluxe size sample because I have 2 of them. And then, let's see, I have 2 from Wander Beauty. I have the Mile High Club as well as the Volume and Curl. I haven't heard great things about either of these. I also have the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which I have never tried. And I also have my L'Oreal Voluminous Black, which I love. What is this? This is the Lorac Royal Treatment Primer. Double Decker by Butter London. I'm gonna pull in the Tartiste, what are they? The Tartiste mascara. I like to use this one for priming. This is a deluxe size sample, and then I think I'm gonna do, I am gonna do the Too Faced Better Than Sex, just so I can finally give this a try. So I'm gonna pull in 3 new mascaras and see how it goes. Next drawer down is face palettes. The Milk and Honey palette by Beauty Bakery is one I'm feeling drawn to pull, even though I already pulled in the Nicole Guerrero one. I just never got enough use out of this to really form an opinion on it. So I think I'm going to pull this one. Okay, and then in this bottom drawer is all my new stuff. And spoiler alert, you'll see that I picked up the ABH Riviera palette before I actually share that with you in my like end of month haul where I talked to you about what I purchased. I am going to play around with that palette. Alright guys, I'm going to pull in the Riviera palette, and then I'm also going to pull in the Dewy Set setting spray that I got with this collection. I'm also going to pull in, even though I said I wasn't going to pull in liners, I'm going to pull in the Essence Extreme Lasting pencil, and this one is, I don't know if you'll even be able to see, it's a nude shade, which I'm really excited about. I love these pencils. In the month of February, I picked up the Milk Makeup blush stick in the shade Work, which I have, oh no, I've used this a couple times and I really enjoy this, you guys. I've been getting more into cream products, so I'm going to pull this to use as well. I'm almost done with my Quickie contour stick from Benefit, like I said, so I'm going to pull the Fenty Beauty Match Stick. Mine is in the shade Amber. This is more of a contouring shade, and I'm finally going to get around to getting some good use out of this. And then finally, I picked up one of the Buxom blushes in Seychelles, and this is a beautiful blush as well. Again, it kind of fits my like nude coral theme, that nude slash, well, this is just straight up nude, but it fits the theme that I kind of want to go with for my blushes, nude slash bronzy. So I'm going to pull this to get some use out of this one as well. But here's half of my palette collection. Like I said, I'm doing a 19 and 2019 project pan for this year, so I don't want to pick too many palettes out, and I have the Riviera palette. I think my husband's sleeping in the other room with the other half of my palette collection, which has like my staples, like my Juvia's Place, my ABH, things like that. I will be filming a palette collection video here coming up soon for you guys, so hopefully you can see more of my palette collection. Maybe give me recommendations for palettes that you would like to see me use. Please never shy away from being like, hey, girl, I wish you would have picked this palette to use this month. But there are two standing out that I know I want to pull in, and then I think we're going to call it good. And actually both of them are out here. Actually, there's three. Okay, number one, I want to keep working with my Persona Cosmetics palette just because this does not get enough love in my collection for what it is. So I'm going to pull this one and keep using this. Also, I'm going to pull my Flower Beauty palette. This is the golden neutral one, and I'm just going to pull this for some fun shimmer toppers that I can top on any look. These I can do work appropriate looks with, anything like that. So I'm just gonna pull these for lid toppers for work days. And then finally I have this Studio on the Go palette, which I used to absolutely love. It's like more purpley mauve tone shades, which I know I said I'm gonna get away from for a few months, but I'm gonna pull this in and try and do at least a couple of purple tone looks with this, or just incorporating this palette, because like I said, I used to love this palette and just haven't reached for it in so long. So want to get some use out of this. All right, you guys, and after that, my desk as well as my little travel case are restocked again for the rest of the month of March and probably into the first week or so of April. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do so before you go. Let me know if you'd like to have me style my Shop My Stashes a little bit differently. My makeup setup, or like just the way that I have my makeup area organized, is just a little bit different than like the Alex 9 drawers and stuff that make it a little bit easier to do Shop My Stash style videos. So I hope you still enjoyed. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you go, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.